Onegashimasu. Welcome to 1320. The coolest hangout for youth and teens. You know how we do it. Actually, you don't know because some...
What it does.
What it doesn't. What it is.
You just survive.
What it isn't. Anyway, welcome to 1320. For those who've been with us, hi. You know us. For those who, okay, even for those who have been with us, you don't know some of us. Anyway, for those,
some of us?
You, for those who are joining us for the very first time, hi, I'm Rafiki. We have Miss Kerry over here, and we have a special guest. I'll let her introduce herself because trust me, that name.
Hello, I'm Celestine Maratikile Sibanda, and I'm 18, which I'm still lying to myself to believe. Welcome to Starting Time, to Starting Time, to Starting Time.
So, I wasn't here last week. Celestine is our guest for this week. Raf, what have we been talking about?
Let me catch you up. We have been having this red button pop up at the middle of the table every single time we have a point.
Okay.
What is it?
It won't pop up today because the guys operating, they messed it up last time. So we are talking about life reboot. And for those who are here last Sunday, you know the rebooting thing, like your phone, ikihang, kama yangu. I am trying to open the Bible. It hasn't opened for the past 8 minutes. So nimeanzisha, like restarting. Okay, I haven't. I was just giving an example. So that's what you're talking about, but not rebooting our phones. It's more of our lives. And I don't literally mean you die, then you come back to life or something like that.
Vampires.
I mean switching our ways from what we used to do into the new way of doing things. Because I'm trying my best not to laugh. I'm sorry I'm putting this face. I'm trying my best.
The reason I'm still laughing is because you were talking and you're being so serious and you just hear... and then you just hear...
I hope the mic didn't pick that up.
Okay. I've seen it.
Anyway, well, this week, this is week 2, by the way, of Life Reboot.
Week 2?
Yes,
Okay.
of Life
You
Reboot.
weren't there for week 1, neither was I.
Yes, week 1 was like an intro to what we're actually talking about. Through this, we can call it a series. Not a series of vampires, though.
Would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Today we are going to talk about... It's
Purity.
I need a word for this.
It's purity.
Yes, we need to purify ourselves. The
Consecrate. Set aside.
yes, the title for this week's episode is To Reboot. You need
To purify.
purity.
To reboot is to purify. That's the title of the episode.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
you're
thank you.
welcome.
These are the people who actually look at the name of the episode when they're watching a show.
Yes, yes.
And I don't. When I
How
doing
else
episode
do you
7.
remember which episode,
Episode
in
7.
case it is your favorite episode?
Episode 8, episode 9, episode 10. You remember them by the number.
Now, actually, just remember the last thing that happened in the last one, then you remember in the first one, because it's a continuation.
What about when you finish the show and you want to go back and watch a particular episode, or you want to show someone a particular
Why
episode?
would you do that?
Why? Okay,
You
okay.
just start from the
What?
beginning.
No,
And watch the whole series again.
no.
For what reason?
To relive it and feel happy.
If
And
you're watching,
entertained.
if you're watching
I
Grey's
thought I was
Anatomy,
depressed.
if you're watching Grey's Anatomy, you have 16
16
seasons.
seasons.
Don't watch it.
What if it's your favorite show?
I mean, you could find another favorite.
So, to reboot is to...
Reboot. Woo! Bianca, somebody
Nope.
is taking over.
Nope. I'm just going to drink my juice. Somebody else has to start.
Reboot.
I thought you were going to say something.
I was helping
That
her
is
do
it.
it.
That is all she was bringing to the table. To reboot is to purify. And, yes, to reboot is to purify. And I know that might sound like a bit like confusing because it's like, huh?
So,
what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So as we know, when it comes to like rebooting, is basically restarting. But it's not completely restarting, because like restarting means like scrapping everything and going back to the beginning, right? But when you reboot, it's taking everything you already have and then using that even as you go into the rest of your life. And
Using
so like
that
for
in
me,
a different way.
exactly. So like for me, for example, my life reboot that has happened is that I dropped out of college. I dropped out of school, and I stopped studying what I was studying, and now I'm going in a completely different direction. That makes me really happy, that I'm really excited for, that is in line with my gifts and my talents. And yeah, like I said, it's very exciting for me. So that for me is my personal life reboot. And how it ties into what we're talking about today is I never thought I was good enough to be able to do what I want to do now, what I'm pursuing now. I never thought I was good enough. I never thought anybody would care to see what I have to say, and to see what I have to make and put into the world. And it's not that I wasn't, it's just that I didn't think I was good enough to do so. And so by realizing my self-worth, and by realizing, the gifts I've been given, and the fact that I can be able to do what I want to do and do it well, I've set myself aside, right? I no longer think of myself as, oh yeah, you can't make it, or you're not good enough. I've set myself aside. I've purified myself, and in so doing, I'm a lot happier. So that's kind of, in case you're confused about how rebooting has to do with purifying or setting yourself apart. I think that's a pretty good example.
Yeah.
I felt something. I can't say in my
Raf's advice
spirit.
corner, or
No.
not
This
yet?
is just normal.
Okay.
How I think of it this way: purifying in a very, no, I can't say earthly perspective, because then it will sound like I'm talking about the world. But no, I'm talking about like literal earth. Gold is gold.
Oh, okay.
Even like when it's still in the earth, it's still gold.
Yeah.
That's true.
But when it is purified, it becomes, well, gold.
Yeah.
So you see, it doesn't mean like it
It's
will
like
change.
water. When you remove the impurities, it stays the same.
Yeah,
Still
it's
water.
it's not like you are changing as per se. It's not like you become somebody different. Let's say if you are a 17-year-old guy, you'll become a
23.
290-year-old woman. No,
Wow.
I
Has
don't
started 20.
I don't mean that. I mean you'll still stay the same, right?
Yeah.
But there are other parts of you, like the impurities sasa, that zitatolewa, and now you'll become exactly what you are meant to be, if that makes sense.
And that's why it's a reboot and not a restart or a scrap everything.
Or resurrect.
Yeah.
But if you think of it, at some point, like in life, you get to a certain point where you're like, let's take an example. You finish, let's say in third year, and you're doing medicine. But at the same time, before you started the course, you were an artistic person. You probably used to paint, used to draw, come up with creative stuff, and used to blow people's minds. But then you're like, this point in school, I'm also good. At the same time, when it comes to arts, I'm amazing. But then my parents and everyone in my family, medicine and stuff. So you're in med school, third year, you've stopped. Then you're like, let me take a break for like 1 year or something.
Oh, that's what happened to me. And then I
And you
dropped
never
out.
went-
And then I was like, let me just take a semester off. Here we are. I dropped out.
Wait, I hope you remember this. This was, I think, season 7 of How I Met Your Mother. You'll be seeing a lot of this.
Yep.
And they never saw it again.
Yep.
Now that is
Yep,
Sarah.
that is exactly
it's like
me.
I will see this next semester.
Yep.
And
But it
never
happens
did.
for a reason, though. And it's kind of like a sober thing to do. I mean,
It is. I mean, it's a bit crazy. You have to be a bit crazy.
It's
to do
very
it, but it's a
crazy.
sober
Yeah.
thing.
And it's also a risk, because the thing with life is that, for me, I've finished, and I'm confused about a lot of things.
What have you finished?
High school.
What are you confused
High
about?
school.
What a lot of things are you confused about? We can talk about it right now.
Because I...
Is it boys? Is boys what's confusing you?
Hell no.
Okay.
So, right now, so I finished, and I have... After finishing 1 month, I'm supposed to know what I want to do the next 5 years, which doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
But then, we already applied, guessed a few things that look like you can do, because you think you have the thing to do. You know, like if you take it,
The flavor.
you can. but then you don't want, but you can.
Mm.
And everyone's
You
like,
can.
hey, that looks like something you can do. But
You-
you're
yeah.
agreeing because
Work
like,
it evil,
I have,
yeah.
what do you want to do in the next 5 years? I'm like,
Music.
this. I have an answer to your question. I
Yep.
also don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same
Yeah, I
page.
get you.
But then I'm confused between, you know, like my artistic side, like doing stuff like acting and, you know, singing and music and stuff. Then on this other hand is stuff that I'm good at, like communication and etc. And so I'm at this crossroad. But then the most scary thing is the risk of taking which path,
Yeah.
you know?
You leave the
Just never
ETC,
know.
you go for the
The risk of taking the path well traveled,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, would be what? The risk of taking that path is you never get to do what you wanted to do. So you get to
Yeah.
see other people
So
living your
sad.
dream. You just sit there. But the risk of taking the path well traveled, the path not well traveled, right? So
Less-
actually
less
pursuing to
road untraveled.
Yes,
more
thank
like
you.
that.
So taking that path now is one, the sacrifices you have to make because of just how much you love it. Two, rejection and stuff like that is going to hurt a lot
Endurance.
more. If you're rejected
Endurance.
from water communications or international
Oh, that would
relations job,
hurt.
it's like, oh, that's kind of bad. But you get rejected from like a management company,
Yeah.
or you get rejected from a gig or stuff like that. That hurts even more
Funeral.
because it's genuinely something that you love and you're putting
Yeah.
a lot of effort into. Yeah, but life is risk, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
if
what
you don't
life
take
is.
risks, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Might as well
Exactly.
not be here.
I had an answer to that, but I won't say it.
We'll just say it.
No,
Yeah, what's
it's
the worst that
one
could
of.
happen?
It's the worst thing that somebody can say when somebody's talking about risks.
Okay. You
Scares.
die.
If you don't take risks, you take crisps.
I'm saying to see why you didn't want to see it.
But you guys forced me anyway, so your funeral, not mine. Anyway, now as they
Do you forgive
contemplate,
yourself for that?
yes,
That's so sad.
I'm a very forgiving
That's what's
heart.
important.
As now we have all forgiven each other. Actually, me forgiving
Joshua
myself.
chapter 3.
Actually, no, I can't. Why would I even? Why?
Because it was a terrible joke.
No, cause you guys
'Cause it
made
was
me
a
say it.
terrible joke.
You guys made me say it.
No, we were just curious.
No, still. Why even thinking it?
There we go.
Hey, you can't stop. I suppose you can't stop a
You
boy from
can.
dreaming. But anyway,
About crisps.
let's go on, please. Hey, it's because you don't have some today. That's
Yeah.
why.
I get you.
So let's talk in point form, Sasa. Preparation in prayer always precedes God's purposes. That's point number one.
Say that again.
Preparation in
In
prayer
prayer.
always precedes God's purposes.
Proceeds. Proceeds is before or after?
Is it proceeds or precedes?
Before.
Precedes.
Precedes is before, yeah?
Before your
As in,
pre.
yeah, precedes pre.
Pre.
Well,
Pre
is
and
that- is
pro.
that
I always
post-seed?
get
Proceeds.
confused between pre
Precedes.
and post.
Is
I
it-
keep forgetting.
Is it post
Pre
seed?
is
Is that
before.
post seed?
I don't think
I don't
that's
think
post
so.
seed.
Prepare.
Post
I think for precede it's proceed, right? No, but
No.
proceed is
proceed is like going on.
Proceed.
going on, yeah. So it's not before and or after. Anyway,
Prepare post.
have no idea
preparation in prayer
Precedes.
precedes.
Always precedes
God's
God's promises.
Yeah.
Purposes more like.
Hmm.
Still the same thing
Precedes
anyway.
God's promise, yeah. Yeah, because like prayer, Sanderson said this. Prayer is hope, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it is.
You
It's
cling on to it.
yeah, and so if there's been a promise laid over your life, or just in a promise in general, you know, whether it's a promise specifically for Christians or just for human beings, if you have hope,
Yeah.
it's more likely to come true.
Mm.
Whether you pray, whether you don't pray, like whether you have hope, is more likely to come true. Because I don't know, the way the world works is weird, you know. Everything is spiritual, even the things that are not. So hope is putting that into the world.
Yeah.
And most of the times when you ask the world a question, it
They'll give
answers
an
back.
answer.
You get an
I
answer
used
back.
to-
Yeah.
I used to have this teacher. She was my favorite in high school.
Yeah,
She
we can
was
tell.
my
You're
theory teacher.
smiling.
She was, she was different. Like, she'll come into class and ask the most odd things and tell us stories about, high school and her
It's
days and
always the
everything.
English teachers, the history teachers, or the religious studies teachers.
Definitely
They are always
English,
those are always the
history.
weird ones.
The rest.
Those are always the
So-
weird ones.
History,
Today in
especially.
class-
I hope you are seeing this. Please don't watch this. Anyway.
Anyway, so my theory teacher used to tell us stuff. Personally, personally,
Mm.
she built me.
Bianca, what are you doing to your
You
people?
know your neck. There's a wave here.
It's coming that way.
I rebuke it in the mighty
Anyway,
name of
we
Jesus.
know what just
Amen.
happened. You know what's life? We're taking a risk with grammar. Okay. As I was saying.
That was a good one, actually.
as I was saying, she said one time that when you're in the bathroom or in the shower, you kind of just like build up the kind of circle you want to have in the future. Like personally, when I go to uni, I've always wanted that my life from the minute I finish, like to the future, is going to be, my circle will be full of people who are artsy, you know? Like I have a friend who, when they get sad, depressed or something, so they just draw or just paint their feelings out. I have another one who, before they fall asleep, poems just run into their head, like weird or, you know, just rare, but just so artsy, you know? And that's just gonna be something I want to wake up to. So she'll tell us in the shower, build your circle. What do you want? I want that when I'm 30, I'll be having like, okay, not 30. When you're 23, 7 cars, you know?
Oh, 7 kids.
Lamborghinis and stuff, you know? Just kind of create it. Color your world.
That's crown paint.
That sounds
If
yeah.
you like
Crowns.
it.
I'm like that sounds like an ad for crown paint. Yeah, but
We
no, you're
can
right.
color your
Yeah,
world.
you're right. There's so many times, and I've said this with my sister all the time. Even when I'm not praying, like I'll just be like, oh, I would like we'd be sitting and we're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen, and we don't pray about it. It's just like,
You just
oh yeah,
said.
this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen. Oh yeah, and when you're doing this, I'm doing this, and now here we are, and she's going to law school, and I'm going to be a filmmaker. We used to talk about that all the time. We used to talk about all the time, and now it's actually like coming into fruition. So yeah.
You know, she has
Hope
said
and
something
prayer.
that is close to my heart. When she said Lamborghini, I was like,
What's it
I
called?
thought you were talking about something serious.
Mustang.
Mustang gang. Anyway, that the point number one actually ties in with somebody that we don't think is that important, but we actually owe him, especially in Kenya. We owe that guy a lot. Porsche, Ferdinand Porsche. He was bankrupt, but then he was like, you know what? I am going to create a car. And
I'm still trying to see how we as a country owe an Italian man anything.
Ice cream.
we owe him because imagine if we didn't have Porsches in Kenya, the biggest cars could be Range Rover and V8. Right now, if you have a Porsche, even if it's a 2004 Porsche, people will be like, hey.
Ooh, sweet right.
Yeah. So we owe him as a country,
We have
especially
values.
for car enthusiasts like myself. Yes. So he had that. Okay, can't say like he was a Christian or something, but he had the
Hope.
he had the hope that I'll make a car, just
Like
one. He wanted
KFC,
just to
Colonel
make one.
Sanders.
But look at him now. And, yeah. And he
Look,
fulfilled.
Isn't he dead?
Yes, he's dead. Okay, don't look
How am I
at him.
supposed to
Don't
look
look
at
him?
him?
Memory.
How am I supposed to look at him?
We still look at Nelson Mandela.
Google
Where? Where do you look at that? Please.
In
I
those
would like
random photos
in social studies.
all over
book.
the world. Honestly. He's still, imagine you died, but then people still have you as wallpapers, covers of what. That thing still blows my mind. I want to be remembered like that, you know?
Like
Go to
Nelson Mandela.
prison.
Okay, that's sad.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Go to prison
I will
for I don't
to
know how
visit
many
those
years.
guys.
For how I don't know how many years.
I
he was
will
in prison
visit.
for.
Like, just to visit, like in my own clothes, not orange outfits.
Good for you, babes.
What if they were black and white?
Please let's change the topic.
Okay. Point. Ni. That's two for those people who don't know.
Very confused.
Yeah.
Moja mbili.
Yeah. Ichi ni. Any preparation in purity always invites God's presence.
Yeah.
Haso.
Setting yourself apart, yeah.
Yeah.
Consecrating yourself. It invites God in and says, hey, look, I'm ready.
What's popping?
Okay.
Brand new whip just happened.
I was saying about something else. Yes, the children of Israel. The time when God was like, you know what? I'll be visiting you guys at this time. Make sure like your homes are clean and all that. You've washed your garments and all that. That's like setting yourself apart.
Yeah.
So they're like welcoming God even before He comes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the whole point of this
Point.
The
English.
English is hard. English came with sheep,
Yeah.
but you're adjusting.
With the sheep.
No,
Exactly.
No.
That's why I was like, English came with sheep.
I mean pom type sheep.
That sounds like a cow.
That's exactly. That sounds like an animal. Paw, paw.
Oh.
Paw, paw. That sounds like a car.
That sounds like a train now. Chee chee.
No,
It starts
the
going.
She
long
sounds
one.
like a bird.
Okay, you got this all wrong.
Okay, this sound effects thing is getting out of hand.
You started it. You started it.
I didn't make a
You
sound.
said sheep.
Excuse me?
She's
said
on
sheep.
Did I say they don't mention an animal?
Yeah, you said sheep.
Then I said it's. Anyway, never mind. So yes, that's the second point. We need to purify ourselves, because when we do that, it's like when you're walking outside a hotel, then you that nice smell of shawarma. You know
What?
the kuku.
What
the
is
kuku.
happening?
Which hotel?
How does that tie into?
Which hotel is this?
What? First of all,
No.
is the shawarma in or out of the hotel?
So, you know they
No. Is the shawarma
I wish you
inside
said
Listen.
or
birds chirping and then we
outside?
start
No.
compositions.
Listen to this. The chicken
Yes.
in the shawarma, so in a pico palenje with
Nje
the
wapi?
Okay.
that cutting that usually rotates.
But
Yeah.
have you already eaten?
No, you're smelling it.
But how are you getting out of the hotel? You haven't already eaten.
You're not getting out. You're walking past the hotel.
Why
You
Just-
said
shawarma?
getting
Not
out
just
of the
there. Why?
hotel.
I said walking past Jamini. Please rewind for those who are watching.
Hotel.
on YouTube.
Please do rewind. Please
Rewind.
do rewind.
Yes. So
Pretend you didn't hear that, please.
you're making things worse. Anyway, so you're walking past, then you get that karufu. You'd want to go in, even if you don't have the money to. You'd want to. I didn't say you will, but you'd want to. Ile, yes. Now that's how it is
Like
to
how
God.
cartoon characters travel with the soul.
Yeah. Now that's how it is with God and like a pure heart. He's like, I want to do something in this guy's life. You.
Did you just equate me to shawarma?
Our
I'll let
Okay,
wisdom
sawa.
answer this.
Anyway, point number 3,
There
y'all.
we go.
We have to prepare ourselves. That's it.
That's it.
That's the whole point. Yeah,
Wow.
we have to
Okay.
prepare ourselves. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to expand on that, but we have to prepare ourselves.
I can
And
expound.
that's
Let Sarah
Okay.
speak.
No, I'm
because
done.
no, if I start talking, you know
no,
what
I'm
will
done.
happen.
Imagine I'm done. I am
ahead.
absolutely done.
Okay, before warriors go to battle, they must prepare themselves. Shine their armors. Make sure the katanas are sharp. Okay, for those who are
Katanas, are they tight?
Who has
Are
been
they
who
titans?
uses katanas in war today?
no, I was talking about like feudal Japan those days.
Aye.
Anyway, point is you just can't go to war easy. You can't just travel easy. As in short, everything needs preparation. That's it. You can't cook chapati. You can't eat chapati if it's just the packet of flour, right? You need to prepare it. So that's what we do with our lives. I'm not saying you need to kanda your life to become chapati or something. I'm just saying you need to prepare yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. All the other Alis, not Muhammad Ali. Anyway, that was a very dry joke, but let us roll with it, okay? Yes, please.
I'm
Don't.
trying to make it
Please
better.
don't. I see the look on Sarah's face. She's about to zone. She's about to like space out. Anyway, what I mean is everything
still
that you do
Hello.
is done by you. Doesn't make sense? I know. But
Yeah, that's duh.
exactly.
Everything everything
you
is
do
done
is done
by
by you because
you.
you're
No.
not doing.
I don't mean it that way. I mean, if you're supposed to achieve something in life, but then you said,
It's all on you.
I'll do it later, then you forget. Nobody else did that. It's you. So
Yeah.
yes, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
that's true.
I don't mean like
What
I
Raf
picked
is
up this phone and it's done.
what
by me.
Raf is saying
Trying to say.
is no one is gonna. No, okay. I don't know how this makes sense, but you know, if it's for you, it's for you. You know, no one else is going to clean up your television and your movie watching. No one else is gonna clean up your phone, your tablet, or your computer. Again, me, I don't know whether it's cleaning, kwa washer,
How
what.
do you wash computer?
No one else is going
It's
to
a
change
bite.
your bad attitude and laziness. No one else is going to stop your gossiping, rumor mongering, or lying.
Oof.
If you know, you know.
Gossiping.
No one else is going to stop your self-righteous, pompous attitude.
Attitude.
No one else is going to forgive that person for you, sweetie. Let that man
Go.
go.
It's about time,
Okay.
darling.
Forgive him. Listen, go.
Comrades, whatever she said. But now, let that be
No one else is going to make you more faithful to your church duties or your duties in general. No one else is going to make you stop living like a Pharisee with double standards. Again, if it is for you, it is for you. Listen, understand, internalize, and start living. You have to do it yourself. So, yeah.
That's it.
It all comes
That's it.
down to you.
Let us bow heads and pray.
Ferrari
Keep
is only
quiet.
2-seaters.
Keep quiet. So,
We're praying.
Celestine can go in the boot. Keep quiet. Let's bow heads and pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you that you blessed us and taken care of us. Thank you that you brought us all here together. I thank you for the conversations that we've had, for the laughter. I thank you for everything that we've learned today about rebooting our lives, about purifying ourselves and setting ourselves apart. I pray that you bless the three of us, even as we have been here and we've been talking. I also pray that you will bless the people that have been watching, and I pray that their lives will continue to be rebooted and that they will continue to become better and better people. I pray that you bless everybody else that's also involved in 1320, the people behind the scenes, the people that do the scripts, the editing, all that jazz. I pray that you bless them and take care of them as well. Give us all a blessed Sunday. In Jesus' name I do pray and believe.
Amen.
We interrupt this broadcast to give you a very important announcement. Here at ICC Mombasa, we have started an initiative called 1 Million Souls to 1 Million Trees. And for me, honestly, it's been making me think about Thanos, you know? Like lately I've thought about Thanos a lot. I'm like, you see, the man,
Purple.
first of all, yeah, he was purple, which is a bit distasteful. However, he had points, okay? The man was making points. We have a lot of resources that are continually depleting because we have so many. There's like 8 billion people on this planet. That's a lot of people. A lot of resources that are continually being depleted. And for some reason, as human beings, when we use something, we don't like plant afresh. We don't reboot. You know what I mean? Anyway, so if you live in Kenya specifically, we have what, 7%? We have 7%
Forest cover.
and you're supposed to have, I think 12% is the bare minimum that the World Health Organization has said, and we are at 7%, so we're in danger. And so what we decided to do as ICC is plant 1 million trees. Is it going to make a difference?
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
not
it
right now, but it
Definitely.
absolutely will. The air will be fresher. The trees will be so yeah, we're hoping to plant 1 million trees, and at the same time dedicating ourselves to saving 1 million souls, because you know Thanos couldn't do that because he's not a good guy, so we are committing to doing that.